say you just want to dress anyhow. No, the weather is cold. You cannot say you want to wear Ankara and you cannot even do all of those things. Hello everyone, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. And this video is on this question: should you come to Canada? Well, I would say that's a relative question, right? I mean, we've had people who come to Canada and then once they are done with school, or some people feel that okay, they can't survive this terrain they live. But it depends on you, right? But what I would say first is that you cannot have it all everywhere. Yes. And first of all is you should pray if God wants you to be here. Okay, so God wants some people to be in the US, to be in Germany, to be in Australia, to be in UK. So you need to first know if God wants you to be here. So that's the first question you should ask yourself, that where does God want me to be? Because you're going to face challenge anywhere you are, but what will keep you going is that you're sure that God wants you to be here and God will be there for you every step of the way. And so back to what I said about it being relative. The thing is that you cannot have it all. Here, you cannot just go to an hospital and then you be attended to. There are some places that they don't even have hospitals there. Some of them travel like kilometers away to get to hospital. But one beautiful thing is that if you stay in the capital, then you have access to basic amenities. You know, it's not like Nigeria where even if you, I know this is, so sometimes you don't do it the right way, but at least if you know someone that is a nurse that works in an hospital, the person can still, you know, take care of you, prescribe medicines, and you'll be fine, at least, even though that's not really medically right. But I'm just saying that even if you don't have the money to go to an hospital to get admitted, or if you're unable to go to a general hospital, you can still do all of that. But here, things are regulated, right? Things are well regulated here. And if you don't have like an health insurance, a doctor cannot even see you. So that's why here you need insurance for everything: insurance for health, insurance for car, insurance for men. I think a house too has insurance. So this place is a different terrain. They have different things that they do. So you need to keep that in mind. But at least we also enjoy things like electricity. We have things like the transport system is not too good, but it's not bad. But you know, like in Nigeria, you can just buy a car even without knowing how to drive. By the time you buy a car, you find your friend or your neighbor that teaches you, and before you know it, you're already on the road. You can't do that here. Even people that have been driving for years in Nigeria, you still come here, you still learn, you will still do your road test, you will still do a couple of things before. You cannot be on the road without having a road test. If the person is caught, the person is in big trouble. So that's just the thing here. But there are some things that we do in Nigeria that they are not really issues, but here things are well regulated. Another thing about here is that the accommodation for my house is very cheap. I pay $500 and that's just for the accommodation. Is excluding of lights, internet, you know. So but that's like 500k, or let's say 600,000 in Nigeria that you used to pay for like a year. You understand? Of course, people say you're earning in car and all of those things, but it's quite expensive here as well. You know, it's quite expensive. Like, now I understand why the credit system is in place here, because they know that you have a lot of bills to pay, and so the credit system is to help you to be able to fend for yourself pending the time you get your next paycheck and all of those things. And another thing here is the job. Even if you have BSc from Nigeria and you've not studied here, some people that do not have certification, maybe all this tech certification, what they get to do is like maybe menial jobs, you know, menial jobs that you cannot even do in Nigeria. So what I'm trying to say is that you cannot have it all, right? But you just have to choose your hard, you know. So you say Nigeria is hard, but you know, you can You can, even if you don't have money, you can still see a friend that send me 5K or send me 10K, or when I collect my salary, I'll return it to you. But here, it's not like that. Everybody's finding for themselves. Like, it's hard to really have genuine relationships here. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's hard because most people are busy. Like, and here, I know I've said it before in one of my videos, but I kid you not, if you are not, like, there are times that you are just not happy, you don't really have a reason to say, this is why I'm sad though. But you are just not happy because, and I feel it's because of the way the environment is. Everybody's on their own. You cannot just say, let me go and visit my friend. If you go there, if he's not at home, you're on your own. Like, sometimes you cannot just say that, okay, you want to take a stroll. You can't, because the weather is cold. You understand? You cannot say you just want to dress anyhow. No, the weather is cold. You cannot say you want to wear Ankara, and you cannot even do all of those things. When you are going to work, there's a particular clothes you have to wear. When you are in the house, even in the house, I put on socks. It's very cold. Like, what I'm just trying to say is that the level of freedom we experience in Nigeria is not as much. Okay, here, I cannot just say that, okay, I feel like eating dundun and pomo and fish that they sell by the roadside. You know, those Togo food now that is always nice. You can't, because you cannot find it. Is either you cook or you cook. Though there are people that do African stores like DoorDash, but sometimes the taste, it will be very painful for you to buy a plate for $15 and it doesn't give you the satisfaction. Or even sometimes it might not be available, or you have to order. But I mean, Nigeria, if you say that, today I'm tired, I don't want to eat, you can just walk to a restaurant. But here, how many African restaurants do we have? You know? So what I'm trying to say is that you cannot have it all. You will just choose what you want. You know, like in Nigeria now, you can train your children the way you want to. It's also possible here, but it's hard because I know that for some schools, maybe when I went to Calgary, I was having a conversation with one woman. She said her children do not go to the government schools because, government schools are free here. She said she pays for a Christian primary school for her children, because how is she going to explain to her children to her boys that gay is wrong? Do you understand? The teacher might be a gay. They are already bringing, because Canada, all this gay, lesbianism, all those things are legal. But this is not right, all these things are not right. So that's it. But in Nigeria, all those things, even though they are there, but it's not as rampant as here. You can teach your child the way you want them to go. You can tell them that, okay, you don't do this, even though you can do it here. But in this place, parenting is very hard. You have to be intentional. In fact, if you have a house here, let's say that that in Nigeria you can have like a room for your father, mother, and 10 or 15 or 7 children, but it's not possible here. If you have a child, the child must have the room. Rather, they'll come to your house, they will see where you live, they will see that, okay, you're taking care of your son, of your child. If your child goes to school or he has scratches, you have to explain, because if you're not an intentional parent, social workers will take that child. So here, so what I'm just trying to say is that Canada is sweet. Come, please. If you have the opportunity to come. It's sweet. Don't listen to what people tell you, that all of those things, but you cannot have it all. Some of the things that you do in Nigeria, when you want to go out in Nigeria, you can just say, my neighbor, please, I just want to get to the market to help me to watch over my baby. She's sleeping. You cannot do that here. Which neighbor? Which neighbor? Do you understand? So that's how things are here. So you would have to choose your heart. There are many people that when their children are like maybe 5 or 7 years, or even 10 years, they send the child back home to their parents or their siblings to take care of those children. Because some of those children, some of them, they know of the laws that are here. One of my friends was telling me that the son was telling her that, that you cannot beat me anyhow. Can you imagine? Yes, because they tell them in school that even the child has not even been in school then when the child was saying all of those things. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to choose your heart. This place is very nice, like for married people too that understand each other. That's why sometimes if you are some people that are still nursing babies or their child is still growing up, sometimes the woman will just be doing a flexible job, or the man, and then the other person will be doing like a full-time job, because you cannot leave your child anyhow. And how much are you making that you still be paying for for care worker to take care of your children. So what I'm trying to say is that this place is is a land flowing with milk and honey. It's a great place to be. If you work hard, you will be paid. Yeah, you would get rewarded for working hard. You can succeed, you can thrive. The weather is beautiful, even though it's cold, but I love it in the summertime. But then I want you to know that it has its pros and cons. So you'd have to weigh your pros and your cons, right? Just as I said, you weigh it, you look at it, and look at the one that pays you. Some places are better. Some people think US is better. Some people think Germany is better. But just weigh your options, right? Weigh your options and be sure that God wants you to be here, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.